Hi, I'm Bob Baines, and I'm ready to put some Blarney in your breakfast again. I'm hosting the 13th annual Bob Baines Blarney Breakfast, New Hampshire's most famous breakfast celebration that makes a lot of green for Special Olympics New Hampshire, the American Red Cross, and the Shirley Brulot Fund at the International Institute of New Hampshire.
Hi, this is Steven Singer, Bob's partner in this event. This is our 13th year, and the event gets bigger and better all the time. It has become a St. Patrick's Day tradition, raising over $500,000 for our charities.
You'll be entertained by famed Irish tenor Anthony Kearns, inspirational singer Christopher Duffley, and the New Hampshire Police Association Fife and Drums Band.
Live from our super secret studios above Jacques' Flower Shop, this is Girard at Large.
Yeah, baby!
Good morning, Manchester.
Live and local. News, sports, politics, traffic, and weather. Rich isn't afraid to tackle the tough questions.
Who told you you can eat my cookies? You talking to me?
Yeah, I hear you had a question for me.
It's all here on the Girard at Large radio program.
Hello?
On 90.7 WLMW, New Hampshire Family Radio.
I'm sorry, who'd you say you were?
I am your host, Rich Girard. Thanks for tuning in.
That's right.
Here's Richard.
Good morning, Manchester, and to those of you in the surrounding towns. This is Girard at Large, and I am your ever humble host, Rich Girard. Thanks for tuning in. Our time is 8 minutes after the hour. We are live from the center of New Hampshire, Radisson in downtown Manchester. The place is coming to life. You know, I think I even saw the host of another morning show that pretends to be local here. He just kind of strolled by.
Yeah.
You know what I love? I love the fact.
He's be late for his own show.
I love the fact that, and this has happened to me my whole life, David, and I really don't understand it. But I have been told. I mean, how many times have we been told that as a show by certain people, time and again, as this radio show has done its thing, as the Girard at Large team, and it is a team. I just happen to be the mouthpiece. But as has done the work that needs to be done to reconnect the community to the people, places, and things in its backyard that are important. Joining us now is another Baines. Al, why don't you grab the headsets? His name is Al, and we asked him to come over because we know that he runs an organization in Goffstown. I don't want to say aimed at troubled youth, but maybe youth with troubles. His name is Al Baines, and the organization he runs is the Crispin's House. Good morning, Al.
Good morning, Rich.
So, you know, Al, there are bound to be a number of our listeners who don't know what Crispin's House is and what it does. So let's take a minute to share.
All righty, I'll tell you about us. We're an organization that's 24 years old. We basically run programs that we call or do for at-risk kids. Not troubled kids, but at-risk kids.
Okay. Now, what's the difference between a troubled youth and an at-risk youth?
Well, an at-risk youth is any kid that's out there, and those are the kids that we're trying to reach.
Okay.
We're trying to reach the kids that want to make a difference in their lives. They want to make positive choices, and the programs that we offer are those kind of programs. We have drug prevention, alcohol prevention, suicide prevention, and a juvenile diversion program for kids that do actually get in trouble.
Okay. And you say you've been operating for 24 years in Goffstown. Now, you take only kids from Goffstown? Is that who you serve, or is any of the surrounding communities?
No, we serve all of the surrounding communities, Dunbarton, New Boston, Ware, Francistown. So they're all involved. Most of our programs are focused on the kids at Mountain View Middle School and Goffstown High School, which serve many of those communities as well.
Yes, they do. So how many children would you say have come through the programs that Crispin's House have run over the years?
Oh, my goodness. Hundreds and hundreds, really. With the programs that we offer, for example, we offer a volunteers program at both the high school and the Mountain View Middle School. The high school has close to 1,100 students. The middle school has almost 900 students. So that's the kind of population that we're serving, the kids that are involved with us. And we offer this volunteers program to the kids that want to volunteer in the community, we facilitate them working with other nonprofits or service organizations in the community that have a need for help when they're running a program.
Now, your budget is entirely donor-based, is that right?
Not totally donor-based.
Okay.
It's grant-oriented.
Okay.
We do fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple of fundraising efforts. One of them is our 3-on-3 basketball tournament, which is coming up on March 23rd.
I was going to say we should probably do a show on that.
Yeah, and then we also run a softball tournament in the fall.
Okay.
Actually in August, and then good news this morning. The town of Goffstown saw fit, and the voters of Goffstown saw fit to vote us in for a town donation of $20,000.
Oh, so the warrant article passed.
The warrant article passed. Warrant article 21, 1,400 voted yes, and 750 voted no.
Well, I'd say that's a strong indication of support in the community.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, Al, how do people learn more about Crispin's House?
Well, they can give us a call at 497-3499.
It's 497
3499. Or they can go to our website, which is crispinshouse.org.
And it's crisp in, like CRISPIN?
S.
crispinshouse.org.
Yeah.
Al, thanks for joining us here this morning on Girard at Large.
Glad I could be here.
And if the Blarney's in the breakfast, blame Bob.
Great.
We're still trying. My daughter called in when he was on the show, said, "What's Blarney and why is it in my breakfast?"
All right, Rich, thanks. Take care.
All righty, Bob. Girard at Large time is 6:50. We are broadcasting live from the Baines Blarney Breakfast here at the center of New Hampshire, Radisson in downtown Manchester. We'll be taking your calls this morning at 672-0573.
Good morning, Rich.
There we go.
Happy Wednesday morning to you and all your listeners this morning.
All right, so a banner event. How many people are you expect walking through these doors this morning?
We've sold out the event. We're expecting 600 people here this morning.
600 people. Wow, that's quite an accomplishment. What do you think the key to success? I mean, so many organizations are struggling. The economy has not been good. Money is tight, and here you are having a record year, filling the house. What do you think the key to success is, Steve?
I think the people all bought tickets so they could see what I was wearing this morning.
They won't be disappointed. We're going to post a picture to Facebook. You got to see this.
All joking aside, we have 3 very, very worthy recipient charities. They're all local: the American Red Cross, the Special Olympics, and the International Institute. People are very, very generous to these organizations, plus the fact that the Baines family has been very, very focused and very aggressive in terms of perpetuating Shirley Brulott's memory and helping these organizations. So that, plus the fact that we have credibility in the community, helped make this a very successful event.
So, and each year you seem to come up with a new level. What is that from an organizational point of view? What does that take?
Well, our goal every year is to increase from the year before. And over the last 5 or 6 years, we've gone from 50 to 60 to 70 to 75. This year, we hope to net $85,000. We set a goal, and we're determined to reach it.
Excellent. All right, and I know that you've got to run, and we've hit our break. So, Steve, thanks for joining us here this morning on Girard at Large.
Appreciate all your support and your partnership, Rich. Thank you very much.
We're pleased to be here and proud to be a part of it.
Thank you.
All right. He can't complain about the coffee today. Right across the table from me is Manchester Mayor Ted Gatzis. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Rich.
All right, Mr. Mayor, what is it like to be mayor of the city of Manchester when events like this take place? What does it mean to you as the mayor?
Well, I can tell you that it's a pretty exciting time when people come out and look to help worthy charities, and there's no question that it just amazes me how the people in Manchester respond, because we're in some tough times. But you take a look at these charity events and people just give and give and give, and that's a wonderful thing.
And what do you think it is about the city that it continually has volunteers and citizens and whatnot come forward to try to address what they see as the issues and needs in the community?
Well, Rich, this community has always been like that. Even back when I was a child, there were people that would help other people in the neighborhoods and watch out for each other and watch out for the seniors and the kids. I mean, it's always been a community that's been wrapped up within itself and certainly looks to help people within the community, and I think that's a wonderful thing. And
do you see with the changing demographics and a lot of the turnover that we've seen in the city of Manchester, do you think that community spirit is at risk? And if not, what keeps building it?
Well, events like this show you that it's not at risk. it's here and it's alive and it's well. And when you take a look around, there are people that are always helping. And, you got the New Horizons, the food bank, a lot of charities that are out there that have people helping in the Boys and Girls Club. It's a wonderful thing when you see what they do, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. I mean, there's so many of them. And it's a wonderful thing that the people in the community help them, because there's only so many funds that the city has that we can distribute. And they all are worthy of every single dollar that they raise.
Okay. And, and that's probably a good segue. I hate to come into an event like this, but this is Wednesday. Not that we're going to have you for very long this morning. Brutal public hearing last night, not for the numbers, but for the very demeaning language used against the Board of School Committee by various Citizens for Manchester School activists who came forward. What do you make of it?
This is a great event, Rich, and I'm going to leave it at that. And, we'll have another opportunity to talk about the future plans of the city. I was just stopped by one of the principals of one of the Catholic schools and said, what are you doing with the calendar? Because we have to know, because of busing and everything else.
Okay.
So we can have that conversation and we can move forward. But this is a great day. We're here to raise some money for 3 great charities. So let's continue on a great event. So
you have you always like to leave us with a good news kind of thing, Your Honor. But there are some interesting things that are taking place in the city now. I'll give you the opportunity to share.
Well, I don't know exactly specifically what you're talking about, but I'm here to talk about Bob Baines' Blarney Breakfast. So anything else you want to talk about from there, we can move forward at another time.
Are we going to see a Mayor Gatz's sort of a Greek celebration at some point?
We are. We're having a Greek Independence Day celebration on the 23rd at St. George's. Certainly, if anybody needs tickets, they can call my office. We'd be more than glad to help you out. That's an important day. The 25th is Greek Independence Day. So, we've got the St. Patty's Day parade on Sunday, the 24th, and then the Shamrock Shuffle that same day. So I look forward to moving forward and enjoying some of these events.
Now, are there still a lot of people in the city of Manchester that have direct connections to Greece the way they used to be? Yeah,
absolutely. There are people that fly back and forth during the summer.
Now, listen, I was taking a look earlier. I see that you're going to be sitting up on the main table right next to the mayor of Spruce Street, Stan Spear. Are you going to take credit in any way for encouraging him to focus more on basketball and less on where you're shopping?
First, I got to congratulate him on the great tournament win. I mean, he certainly did a great job. So
we're not going to have somebody sitting between the two of you.
No, I think we're okay. He knows better than that.
Manchester Mayor Ted Gatzis, thanks for joining us here this morning on Girard at Large.
All right.
Good morning, Manchester, and to those of you in the surrounding towns. This is Girard at Large, and I am your ever humble host, Rich Girard. Thanks for tuning in. Our time is 7:06, and our station is 90.7 FM WLMW. You can find us on the web at GirardAtLarge.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Also at Girard at Large. Like us, follow us if you want to be loved. We are with Christopher Duffley, which is the voice of mine.
This is great. He can interview himself. And for those of you wondering, that was, in fact, an impersonation of your humble host by Christopher Duffley.
Yes.
Who is a master impersonator, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I understand you were doing an impersonation of Steven Singer the other day.
Steven Singer last night.
Yes.
I've been producing like Steven Singer's stuff, so it's pretty cool. Like, it's really pretty
cool.
Christopher,
you're going to be singing this morning. What can our audience expect to hear from you, and when can they expect to hear it?
So you guys out there, including Mom, who's listening in the car, she might not be here she will be here probably about 5 minutes. But for those of you out there, I'm going to be singing the national anthem and Lean on Me today. So I'm going to be singing the national anthem and Lean on Me, and you're going to be expected to hear it probably around 7:20, 7:30, or 7:25, between that. And then we have breakfast served and so forth. So we're going to be having breakfast served, which is your breakfast.
Now, Christopher, we know that you have to get ready soon. So give us the update on your CD.
Well, the update I'm going to give you on my CD, guys, is that we're going to be having an update on there pretty soon, actually. we're actually adding more songs on the CD, and we're getting songs onto it. So, for example, like How Great Thou Art, we just recorded down there in Murfreesboro at World Outreach, and then we just put it on there. They're tuning it up right now. So, Peter or Dave or Rich, do you have any like questions about the update about it? And I'll answer them. This is just a quiz on you.
All right. Well, Christopher Duffley, we're looking forward to your performances this morning. Thank you for joining us here on Girard at Large.
You're very welcome, Rich.
All right. And thank you to the Duffley family for...
Oh, and you know what? Grace Duffley actually has her headphones in, too. So
yes, she is. She's about to grab the big cane and yank you off the stage because you know what? We got Coach Stan Spiro coming up right now.
Oh, my gosh. Coach Stan Spiro. Oh, Coach Stan Spiro is now coming up in about a couple seconds from now. Thank you very much for letting me join you on Girard at Large.
You're welcome, Christopher.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
And taking his seat as Christopher Duffley departs is Coach Stan Spiro, a champion yet again, having won the Northeastern 10 Conference in what can only be described as stunning upsets along the way. Good morning, Coach Spiro. It's a pleasure to have you live with us this morning on Girard at Large.
Here we go. We're not doing it from home, Rich. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now, Mayor Gatsis was in here saying that the reason why you won was because he told you to stop shopping and focus on winning basketball games.
Yes. As a matter of fact, he sent me for a couple of weeks to coaching school, so I want to thank him very much.
Now, we noticed that you're going to be sitting up there right next to the mayor. We're not going to have somebody in between you, are we?
Well, I don't think there's room with him sitting there.
So, Coach, obviously, heady times for you and your program. You're the Northeast 10 regional champion. What's that mean to you and your program and to the kids on the team?
Well, it means a lot, to our kids. It means a lot to our university, Rich. I couldn't be happier for a group of kids. As we talked, many times before, we weren't given, much of a chance at the beginning of the season, even a couple of weeks ago. And for these kids to accomplish what they did, it's really a true statement for a young group of kids, and I couldn't be happier for them.
Now, I'm here to congratulate my friend.
Oh, the man.
Finally won one.
And it's all because of him. So now, in practical terms, though, this has got to be it's obviously great for you, but in terms of recruiting new talent and bringing kids onto the team, this has got to be a huge boost for the school.
No question. If you followed our program the last couple of years, we were hovering around the 500 mark. And certainly anytime you have success, it makes it a lot easier to go on the road and attract, better talent. And certainly we're going to take advantage of this success. We need a couple of recruits to come in and help a little bit with the point guard position, and also inside a little bit. And certainly this success will help us.
So, Coach, you are here at the Blarney Breakfast. You're a Manchester guy. You stay involved. What do events like this mean to you, and why do you participate?
Well, I said many times, Rich, this community has been great to me and my family. I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for this community and the people behind it. And certainly, if you have a chance to give something back, like come in here and help, raise some money for a great cause, so be it, even though it's early in the morning.
Indeed. Well, Coach Spiro, thanks for joining us here this morning on Girard at Large. Congratulations again on your, and everyone was an upset along the way, and you beat some darn good teams.
Thank you, and we'll talk on Friday.
All right, we look forward to that. Coach Stan Spiro. Coming to the microphone now is Ward 1 Alderman Joyce Craig. Good morning, Alderman. All dressed in green. One might think that with the name Joyce Craig and wearing green like this, you're Irish.
I married an Irishman.
You married an Irish. Does that make you Irish?
My daughter here was born a day after St. Patrick's Day.
Oh. And what's your daughter's name?
Catherine.
Catherine, do you want to say hi to everybody on the microphone? She's got her... She's got her mic on. So, I will say to you, Joyce, that it's not very often for all the events that I come to that I actually see sitting members of the board, ward aldermen, present. What brings you here this morning?
Well, my husband's law office, Craig and Getzel, is bought a table, so that helps. But no, I do frequent these events, and this is one that we come to every year. It does great work for the community.
Now, what is it to you as an alderman in the city of Manchester? What does it mean to you to see events like this? How does it affect you?
Oh, it's obviously a great feeling to see our community come together like this. I mean, similar to what we saw Saturday night at the hockey game, against Central and Memorial. It just shows the spirit of Manchester.
Now, you were working on a project to get skating reopened at Doors Pond.
Yes.
And I know there was at least one day where the pond was open for skating. How did that unfold through the rest of the winter? Obviously, I don't think people are skating now.
Right. It was open 3 days, and then it was open during February vacation.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the weather didn't cooperate in that we could skate, but, when people were walking around the pond or going to the playground, they could stop into the warming hut, and there was someone there from Parks that was keeping the fire going. So, again, it provides a sense of community.
So, on a business matter, you have started the process of working on the mayor's budget. I guess we'll put it that way. You gave the department heads, I think, until March 18th to come back with answers to questions. What are you hoping to find, or what are you looking for as you go through the numbers to know what adjustments you're trying to make?
Well, information, obviously. We listen to the mayor present his budget, and that's, at this point, what we have. So getting answers from the department heads will help us in terms of understanding what the impacts of the budget are. And there have been changes since the mayor presented his budget, and it's important for us to understand those.
All right. And so what's your daughter's name again?
Catherine.
Catherine. Oh, now that's a pretty Irish name.
Sure is.
Catherine, you want to say hi to everybody, sweetie? You could talk into the microphone and say hi. Okay, do it again. Dave's got your mic up now.
Hi.
Hey, now where do you go to school, Catherine?
Webster.
You go to Webster. What grade are you in?
Third.
Third grade. Do you like your third grade class?
Yes.
How about your school? Do you like your school too?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of school? Is it recess or lunch?
Yeah.
Spoken like a true third grader. Well, Catherine, thanks for saying hi to our audience. And thank you, Alderman Joyce Brigg, for joining us here this morning on Girard at Large. And joining us at the microphone now is another legend in St. Patrick's Day lore here in the city of Manchester. He is our very green Lebanese Irishman, Bobby Stephen, a man well known to many in our audience. Good morning, Bobby.
Good morning, Rich, as known the Lebanese leprechaun.
The Lebanese leprechaun, that's right. So, do you serve lamb, Bobby, during your St. Patrick's Day celebrations?
We kind of stick to the corned beef and cabbage in the executive courtyard at the Yard Restaurant. They do a wonderful job.
And that's right. So for how many years now?
This is our 35th, Rich.
So for 35 years, Bobby Stephen and his family have run the Bobby Stephen St. Patrick's Day
Fund for Education.
Fund for Education. I knew it was something like that.
And we've raised quite a bit of scholarships for deserving young at-risk students. It's over 300 scholarships. Actually, we turned the event over to a charity in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, as I said, we had over 300 scholarships. So that's what makes me continue doing this.
So it's an educational. Now, how do you qualify for the scholarships?
It's we work with a lot of the disadvantaged and students throughout the whole state. We work with New Hampshire Jobs of America graduates, kids that have dropped out, back to school, get the diploma, and they qualify for that. We have a website and an application on that for folks to go at, to look at and fill. It's www.Stephen Fund for Education.
And that's PHEN, STEPHEN, Fund for Education. Is it .com?
.com.
.com. So what motivated you to have it be a scholarship fund, Bob?
Well, what happened, what really motivated me, Rich, was back in the early 90s, after my restaurant days, I was asked to go and work at the New Hampshire Job Training Council. And that's where I saw a lot of disadvantaged youngsters, not at the council, but they worked with Jobs of America graduates. So we turned it in to a nonprofit that time.
Okay. And 35 years. I mean, this has been I would call this the granddaddy of the St. Patrick's Day celebrations. And has it continued to grow and thrive over the years? It's doing well?
You know, we were just talking about that with my family the other day. Although we've lost a lot of good folks, but we have a lot of new folks, and we still draw between 500 and 600 people throughout the evening. It's great. It's a signature event, and people come from all over.
And once again, it is when?
It's this Saturday, March 16th, at the Executive Court Yard Restaurant. Starts at 5 o'clock.
Starts at 5 o'clock, Saturday the 15th at the Yard Restaurant. Bobby, Stephen, where can people get tickets?
They can get tickets right at the door.
Right at the door.
Because we're leaving tables unfilled for folks to buy tickets. They're $50 a ticket. Wonderful meal, good entertainment. We have step dancers and bagpipers there. It's a fun night.
It's a fun night. I've been. It's a great event. Bobby, Stephen, thank you for joining us on Girard at Large. And we are about to go live to the event. Before we do, though, we have a gentleman here whose name escapes me. He's from the Plus Company in Nashua. We'll get right to this gentleman. We are being. Well, we can't have dead air.
Be a fan of courage.
Be a fan of dignity.
We are joining a video broadcast
Be
live.
Be a fan of pride.
Be a fan of confidence. Be a fan of fun.
Be a fan of Special Olympics. To support some of the most inspiring athletes you'll ever see, please visit SpecialOlympics.org, where you can volunteer, support, coach, or sign up to compete.
I'm a fan. Be a fan, too.
All right. I'm not sure exactly what's coming next. Bernie, why don't you put your headsets on?
This is the American Red
David,
Cross, the Singer
take
family.
the mic. Take it to me. Bernie, I'm going to interview you now. Yeah, we're live. Put your headsets on. Joining us now is former executive counselor and former Nashua Mayor Bernie Streeter. He runs a breakfast in Nashua. We're going to talk to him about that. Good morning, Mayor Streeter.
It's always a pleasure to be in the second largest city.
You mean from the second largest city?
No. We have an Irish breakfast too. You know,
yes, that's why we're here. And tell us about your breakfast.
Well, it's sponsored by the Plus Company, which is an organization that assists the developmentally disabled. This will be our 23rd. And Bob Baines usually comes down and sings.
No. Manchester has a long, proud history of singing mayors, whether it's Baines or Dupuy or Valley or.
That's right.
We have a lot of mayors who've sung here.
I don't sing.
Ray Wazorek didn't sing, by the way.
No, he's right. Ray didn't. You're right. Yeah. But, it's traditional. It's actually on St. Patrick's Day, but this year, with St. Patty's Day being on Sunday, which is going to be on Friday this week.
It's going to be Friday
at the Radisson Hotel, and we get about 500 people there.
Now yours is a roast, is it not?
It's a roast. It's we like to refer to it as Irish wit.
Irish wit. Now what is? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And we try to have local celebrities, political people. And usually someone from the world of sports.
Okay.
This year we have Bob Sweeney, who used to play for the Bruins. But we have the Mayor Lozo, and of course the Governor Hassan, and the state senator who says she's funny, she usually is. And then Jim Reedy from Manchester. Now, I don't know Jim, but they say he's got a great sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And they say he's Irish too, but I don't know. Reedy doesn't sound Irish to me, but is it?
Well, up here you never know.
Yeah, you're right. But no, it's a lot of fun, and I'm they call me the master of ceremonies or whatever they call me, but I'm usually the brunt of everybody's jokes. And believe me, when I was mayor, I used to get into some difficulties, and they really roasted me. But it's a great time. good music, and Bob has always come to ours. Can you hear me? Or?
We can hear you just fine.
Okay, all right. So it's and ours is starts at 7:30 in the morning, and listening to Bob sing, it reminds me that he's done it for us many years. It's good to be here, Rich.
Mayor Streeter, thank you for joining us here this morning on Girard at Large. The festivities here at the Blarney Breakfast are underway. We're going to have David turn up the house mics so that we can hear former Mayor Bob Baines get everybody on their feet with a rousing rendition of something Irish. I wouldn't know I'm not. David, bring us into the house system. Bring us into the house system.
All the people of Ireland, and let's go without you there. Oh, General Grant from Ireland came. He took me by the hand. He said, I've never seen the likes of McNamara's band. But in the clingle clank and the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. Oh, Hennessy, Tennessee, two to the flute of the music is simply grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band. Happy St. Patrick's Day! Let's welcome the New Hampshire Police Association Fife and Drums. Please stand.
The crowd is standing for the presentation of colors by the State Police Fife and Drum Corps. For those of you interested, they are coming into our left, from our left, to the entryway of the Armory, headed toward the stage in the center of the room. Christopher Duffley is off to our left, getting ready to sing the national anthem. Stay tuned for that. You're listening to the Girard at Large live coverage of the Blarney Breakfast, a sellout event here in downtown Manchester, hosted and organized by former Manchester Mayor Bob Baines. We will be carrying the program live this morning. There are several speakers and presentations. We will continue as opportunity presents itself to interview the people that are within arm's reach and bring them and their perspectives to you here on the Girard at Large radio program, as we continue our live and local coverage of this event, as we do so many in the community, which we do for you and with your support. And we thank you so much. They are gearing up for their next number. They are dressed in traditional Scottish attire. We are awaiting the national anthem. Christopher Duffley is in position and ready to sing. We'll go find out from Christopher's mom if where they're going to be singing from. looking out over the crowd. The guests of honor have taken their place at the head table. Things seem friendly enough between Mayor Gatsis and Coach Spiro. DJ Dave out taking photos, which we'll be uploading to our Facebook page. Looking out over the crowd, we see now former school board member Donna Soucy, state senator from District 18, Senator Lou D'Alessandro, Charter Commissioner John Clayton. One of our sponsors, businessman Charlie Morgan, is here. The list of who's who's. Photographer Jeff Tchaikovsky, one of the area's preeminent photographers. We interviewed him not too long ago on Girard at Large. You're listening to the State of New Hampshire Police Drum and Bugle Corps as we broadcast live from the center of New Hampshire, Radisson, covering the Bob Baines Blarney Breakfast. Former Verizon executive Mike McCluskey. Oh, my head. Because part of the problem here is about 90% of the people have their back to me. So facing the band, or the State Police Corps here, which is in the center of the room. All eyes on them in the center of the room. Old Irish eyes. We are broadcasting live from the Baines Blarney Breakfast in downtown Manchester at the center of Radisson Hotel. The State of New Hampshire Drum, Fife, and Bugle Corps is currently performing.
Big round of applause for the New Hampshire Police Association Fife and Drum Band.
Function hall now. Which means coming up next is Christopher Duffley as they will present the colors. And he will sing the national anthem, one of his signature presentations. We will be bringing you events as they unfold here live, and we will continue to have the guests that we can get to come sit at our table to talk to you in between the speakers. Hard to compete with that.
Before we begin the program this morning, those of us from Manchester and around the state lost one of our dear friends of a lot of the charities in our community, a person who really was worthy of emulation by anyone who seeks a path of public service, and that's the late Fred Kafori. And I'd ask everyone, I'm going to dedicate the breakfast to his...
Mayor Baines.
in his memory this morning, and I ask everyone to observe a moment of silence and pray for Fred this morning and his family.
Pause there for...
Thank you, and I'd like to now introduce Sister Paula Marie, the president of Rivier University, for our blessing.
Good and gracious God, whose steady hand blesses women and men of good faith and goodwill, hear our prayer and bless this gathering with the spirit of Irish wisdom, wit, love, and laughter. In every age, you call us to care for our neighbors, to welcome the stranger, to shelter the homeless, to heal the sick, to feed the hungry, to comfort the sorrowful, to encourage the distressed. Today, you call us to celebrate the gifts of community and a spirit of service which unites us all. May the God of all grace, the God of Abraham, the God of St. Patrick, hold us all today and forever in the hollow of his hand. Amen.
Now remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. Please welcome a young man who has really made his mark, not only here in Manchester, New Hampshire, across the country. I call him an inspirational singer. I call his family inspirational. Please welcome Christopher Duffley.
Is there a flag here? Flag?
Okay, we're going to visualize one.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Christopher Duffley has taken center stage, literally.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in air, can prove through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Hey, Christopher.
That was our number one fan, Christopher Duffley, wowing them here. To a thunderous standing ovation here in the banquet hall. Shortly, a brief video detailing Christopher's life story will play.
Please be seated. Christopher's going to sing in just a couple of minutes. We're going to ask people to serve breakfast. We're going to move things right along. Please welcome Mark Hebert from the Harbor Group, the lead sponsor of the event, to extend a warm welcome to the Blarney Breakfast. Mark?
Top of the morning to ya. I always wanted to say that.
Hey,
The
he used
Harbor
that
Group
line
is
here in our interview
pleased
earlier this
to be
morning.
the lead sponsor for this wonderful event, the Blarney Breakfast. As wealth managers and financial planners, we spend a lot of time at the Harbor Group talking about balance. You know that type of balance? The type of balance where you have to balance today's budget with saving for retirement, with putting money away to educate your children. But one of the very important parts of balance is giving back. Giving back to charity, giving back to people who are less fortunate than we are. Well, I am pleased to announce to everyone in this room that this morning you all have balance. And I thank you for helping to support the Blarney Breakfast, because this year the breakfast will raise over $80,000 for these special charities. So as you go about your day, you may want to grab someone during the day and say, hey, guess what? I have balance. Have a good morning. Thank you.
Now would you give attention to this video? It's going to introduce Christopher to you, and he'll sing one more song. Please pay attention to this beautiful video about Christopher and his family.
Brothers and sisters, we are always courageous, although we know that while we are at home in the body, we are away from the Lord. For we walk by faith, not by sight.
Said the blind boy.
Christopher Duffley was born in May of 2001. He's actually the son of my youngest brother and his girlfriend. And when I received the phone call from my brother, I found out that he was born at only 26 weeks, 1 pound, 12 ounces.
Wow.
So he's very premature, and he was in critical condition. And there were several nights that we were told that Christopher wouldn't make it through the night. And at that point, I prayed for Christopher. And I just asked God to be with my brother and to do what his will would be. And for a long time, I had no contact with my brother. Really didn't know what happened to Christopher. And all of a sudden, my heart was moved. Where was my nephew? What happened to him? And on my first phone call to social services, the gentleman knew about Christopher, and he indeed was in foster care. He was totally blind. He had been born with cocaine in his system, and he had a host of other medical issues. My first response to that, or my first feeling to that, was fear. I prayed very intently, and I begged the Lord. I said, could you just show me what you would want? And he did. He answered in my heart. He told me, do not be afraid, that I will take care of everything. We've had challenges and we've had joys. And one of the greatest joys was to hear Christopher make noise, sing, and keep beat. He really didn't talk till about first grade. So when he sang, it was really neat. And it wasn't shortly around that time that we found out that Christopher had perfect pitch. And he started to do remarkable things. And what a joy and what a prophecy that God gave us, that these tears would come, and they come out of great joy. And when Christopher sings, "Open the eyes of my heart," he teaches us to not see everything with our eyes, but to see things the way God sees things, through our heart. Although the circumstances were difficult, very difficult, our lives are messy, our families are broken, but yet through that and through our suffering, God makes beautiful things.
Charge time is 7:51.
Please welcome Christopher Duffley.
Who is again at center stage and will be singing what has become, to those who follow him, one of his signature songs. Audio visual.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I had things you need to borrow for, no one can fill the those of your needs that you forget. You lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, yeah, right up the road, and I'll share your load. If you just call me, lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Call me, you can call me, or you can text me, or email me, Skype me, Facebook me, tweet me, YouTube me, Google me. You can just call me. Call me, lean on me.
Christopher, I have one more favor to you. Would you do your imitation of Steve Singer? Go ahead.
Hey, this is Steven Singer. Part of this event, part of this event is sponsored by this event. This event is getting bigger and better all the time. This is our 13th annual Bob Baines Blarney Breakfast, and it's getting bigger and better all the time.
So our large time is 7:57. We are broadcasting live from the center of New Hampshire, Radisson, as we cover the Baines Blarney Breakfast. That was our number one fan, Christopher Duffley, wowing the crowd with one of his signature songs, the one that made him famous on YouTube, millions of YouTube views. We are now going to rejoin Mr. Baines as he introduces the head table. Breakfast continues to come out.
To the mayor of Spruce Street. And we have a very special.
You know what, Steve, let's do station ID right now.
WLMW 90.7 FM.
It's uplifting and powerful, and it's a good message all around.
New Hampshire Family Radio.
It's just a good station to listen to.
All right, we are back live.
Stanley Spiro.
Introduced now is Stan Spiro, the coach of the Southern New Hampshire University Penmen. Just won their conference championship. We're going to take that speech live right now.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Month. And sorry I couldn't make it last year, but for years, Governor Lynch and Mayor Gatzis were telling me that if our record continued to be around 500, that I wouldn't be back here and I wouldn't be back at Southern New Hampshire University. So I went last year, I spent a week to a coaching school. So here I am today representing Southern New Hampshire University and the great school and great program. But before I introduce our next guest, Governor Lynch, I didn't realize you grew your hair. But the governor has only been on the job for just a few months, and I will not get on her like I was getting on Governor Lynch because she hasn't done anything. But all kidding aside, Governor, I've been reading in the paper that we might be getting casinos in this state. Where's Lou? He must be applauding.
It's Senator Lou D'Alessandro.
Where have you been? Right, we have had casinos in this state for many years. I will walk you up to my neighborhood right now. You don't need to do any studies. You don't need to figure out how much these casinos will bring in. I will get you 4 or 5 people to show you how to run the tables. I will have them show you how to skim from the top so the state can make more money. And it's only 2 blocks away. Governor, best of luck. And next year, you're going to get a lot more than this. Our governor, Maggie Hassan.
The crowd is coming to its feet, as is customary when the chief executive of a government is introduced.
Well, thank you.
Taking the microphone now,
Stan.
New Hampshire Governor Maggie Hassan.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you to Mayor Bob Baines and to all of you in attendance this morning for the work you do to support the Special Olympics, the American Red Cross, the Shirley Brulat Fund, and the International Institute of New Hampshire. I have to say it is always great to be in Manchester, the city that sent Chip Kelly to the NFL, Adam Sandler to the big screen, and Steve Valancourt to the State House.
That's actually pretty funny.
But really, what better way to spend my first St. Patrick's Day as governor than at a breakfast hosted by Manchester's favorite Irishman, Stanley Spiro. As you probably know, this fall the people of New Hampshire elected the first ever all-female delegation. This achievement really shocked a lot of people. But no one was more stunned than Stanley. Because after all, when he started coaching at SNU, women still didn't have the right to vote. And it's good to see my friend and former state Senate colleague, Mayor Ted Gatz, is here too. Good morning, Mayor. I read in the Union Leader the other day that the mayor is proposing to shorten the school year from 180 days to 175 days. Teddy, come on. You know, if anyone tried to shorten Creamland season by 5 days, you'd declare martial law. I'm picking on the
Creamland
mayor
opens this
only because
weekend,
I
by
know
the way.
he's a good
Or did it
sport.
open last weekend? Open last
After
weekend.
all, this proud Greek American is here wearing the colors of the Irish flag to honor St. Patrick. The green tie and white shirt look great, but I think he went a little overboard with the orange face paint, don't you?
Reference to Mayor Gatzis's tan.
We're very old friends, right, Ted? You know, I swore I would never tell anyone this, but I have to admit I was a bit uncomfortable settling into the office that John Lynch occupied for the last 8 years. Once I got rid of the booster seat, though, I was fine. I really shouldn't pick on our terrific former governor.
That was actually really funny.
After all, he and I both know what it's like to be targeted by the brilliant political prognosticator Joe McQuaid. I mean, when that guy talks, New Hampshire and the rest of the country listen. Just ask President Newt Gingrich. So I am sorry to say that I am unable to stay for the entire breakfast. I have to get back to Concord for a couple of important meetings. And I say important meetings because really I just want to get out of here before I hear Bob Baines sing again. So thank you all very much.
That was New Hampshire Governor Maggie Hassan showing a bit of a sense of humor this morning. Our large time is 8:04. You are listening to our
Thank
live
you very
coverage
much,
of the
Governor.
Blarney
We had to
Breakfast here
skip part of the program
in downtown
because
Manchester.
The governor had to leave, but this is a very important award on behalf of our family. Is Karen here today? Karen, would you please come up? This is my sister Shirley Brulat's daughter Karen, who will assist me with the presentation of the award. And while she's on her way up here, I want to tell you a little bit about the award. Shirley was always about giving, especially for children. She often bought coats for people she knew, knitted dozens of mittens and hats for children, and once gave a huge box of socks to a school for the school nurse to distribute to children who needed them. She would do that for people she didn't even know. She had a heart of gold. And she had an opportunity to meet Ann Sanderson from the International Institute in New Hampshire during my campaigns and was very touched by the wonderful work that the Institute does to help new Americans. At my inaugural ceremonies, we always featured refugees as participants in the programs to recognize the importance they play in the future of our city. During her last stage, as she was losing her very difficult battle with cancer, I asked her about setting up a long-lasting fund in her memory to help refugees and immigrants. After some pondering, Shirley said, "I want to help my friend Ann." Hence, the Shirley Brulat Fund was born, and she would be very pleased to know the difference she is making in providing the little extra things that people need as they set out to find their way in their new home. And every year we present in her memory the Shirley Brulat Community Service Award. This year it's presented to Maureen Beauregard from Families in Transition. Maureen, would you please come up here? When I was mayor, I always attended events, especially groundbreakings for one of her new projects, and I always referred to her as one of the heroes of Manchester. This is presented in recognition of your work as president of Families in Transition and your personal commitment to assist homeless individuals and families beyond the cycle of homelessness to lead healthy and successful lives. You are a role model of the highest order in our community and a true hero for those in need of a helping hand and those who aspire to do God's work on earth. Please recognize this wonderful human being, this great community citizen, again, a role model of the highest order, Maureen Beauregard.
Where are you? There. I really want to thank you for this. I'm very humbled that you would offer this up to me and to families in transition for the work that we do. You were such a supporter as a mayor, and you continue to be, so thank you very much. And the community has just really loved families in transition for these 20 years that I've been doing this, and I even think Mayor Gatsis is a fan of FIT. Don't tell anybody. He doesn't want anybody to know. But thank you so much.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
By the way, my brother Al is going around collecting business cards. We have a lot of generous restaurant sponsors. After the event is over, we'll have a drawing, and the winners, we will send these gift certificates to you. They're from the Hanover Street Chop House, the Copper Door, The Way We Cook, Ignite Hooked, Cotton, Pico Italia, Common Man, The Puritan Back Room. And I have to tell you, my favorite restaurant in Manchester, because it's owned by my son Tim, Mint Bistro. So I want everyone to go to Mint Bistro. It's a great restaurant. Now, Stanley, you have the honor of introducing, and this should be very interesting, the mayor of Manchester. So, Stan, go to it.
Good morning again. I don't know if you got the latest news, but word from the Vatican is that they had 2 votes this morning and black smoke came up. So, Bob, you still have a chance to become Pope. You've done everything else, right? Mr. Mayor, 2 years ago I was here and the whole city, the whole community rallied behind you, hoping for a better tomorrow. What happened?
Ooh.
As a matter of fact, many of you don't know this, never became public, but Ted and I are good friends. But about a month ago, he was coming out of City Hall late at night, and a local mugger put something in his back thinking it was a gun and said, "Give me your money." So Teddy says, "You know who I am? I'm the mayor." He goes, "In that case, give me my money." But again, Mr. Mayor, I have a lot of complaints from my neighbors. A couple of weeks ago, we had a big snowstorm, and they were complaining that our street was not plowed. Other streets in the community were not plowed, and they saw 3 or 4 city trucks plowing out Creamland so you can make opening day. Here's our mayor, Ted Gatsis.
Good morning, everybody. Great to listen to the Blarney this morning. We've got to remind Governor Hassan that she should never leave an event like this when the person that she was making some jokes about has the mic after her. But certainly I know that she will be in attendance of an awful lot of Irish breakfasts, dinners, and lunches. We used to have one in Concord, the Jim Demers lunch. Well, when she started with her jokes, I thought I was back at that roast. But being here this morning, I can only tell you that Bob Baines and Stephen Singer worked very, very hard at this event. As a matter of fact, they came to my office about 4 or 5 times and casually hinting about a sponsorship. And I reminded Bob Baines that I would get him over the top because he was looking to raise more money than he did last year. And I had a box of Twinkies left. And I would bring them here this morning and auction them off. The only problem is when I went into the cupboard last night, they were no longer that golden yellow. They were more of a green color. And I didn't think it was appropriate to bring Twinkies to the Blarney Breakfast that were green to auction off. But I can tell you that the city of Manchester and you folks in this room certainly worked very hard to help many, many nonprofits. And you're always there. We have a great community. when you think times are tougher than they were the year before, you hear that they've raised more money than the year before. And certainly that's important, because the people that we're helping and giving a hand up don't have that opportunity, and all they're looking for is that hand up. And I know there's an awful lot of nonprofits that are out there that knock on the same doors, and you folks open up that door and you help people. But I think we have to send a message to Stan Spiro. Coach, that basketball camp that you thought you were going to was not on the 18th hole of a 72-hole golf course that you thought you were learning something about basketball. We all know that Stanley enjoys playing around a golf or two. He's still trying to learn how to play the game. Thank God he learned how to coach better than he plays golf. And congratulations to your victory, and good luck in this next tournament. And if you don't win it, you're probably done. But again, thanks everybody. Great breakfast. Make sure you bid high and often when Steve Singer starts with his live auction. Thank you.
That was Manchester Mayor Ted Gatzis. He's departing the dais. Stan Spiro's coming back to introduce our next guest. Our large time is 8:13. You are listening live to our coverage of the Bob Baines Blarney Breakfast, hosted in downtown Manchester.
What I told him
we are
is
keeping our eyes
the
on the
applause,
roadways, by
I'd
the
be
way, so if there are any
concerned.
traffic issues you need to know about, we will break in
As
and
a
let
matter
you
of
know.
fact, your hair gets any whiter, it will be endorsed by the Tea Party. Here's former Mayor Bob Baines.
Thank you, Stanley. Before we introduce our next speaker, I want to acknowledge a group that's here because of the generosity of one of our sponsors, Citizens Bank. And these are all our people that would normally not be able to come without the generosity of a company like Citizens Bank. And I'd like to have them stand. Please hold your applause to the end. Our Special Olympic athletes, please stand. Beach Street School, they're way over here. Beach Street School. One of the best schools in Manchester, I always say. The William B. Cashin Senior Center, 2 tables here. Please stand up. The Catholic school principals, City Year, and Families in Transition. Please give them a round of applause and thank Citizens Bank for being our community sponsor. And there's another special group. I want their own applause. Again here because of Citizens Bank, are veterans. And I would like them to stand, and everyone who's a veteran in this room, stand up so we can acknowledge your service to the United States of America. All veterans, please stand up. Thank you for your service to our country. Thank you. I'd like to thank a number of people. Jack Heath from WGIR is here today. I'd like to thank Rich Girard, the New Hampshire Union Leader, QCEnews.com, which will be broadcasting this, if you can check out their website this Friday. Our media sponsor, the New Hampshire Union Leader, and WZID in the Mill. I'd like to thank the Blarney Breakfast Committee, my brother Al and my sister Sue, along with Ashley Larson, Jennifer Gordon, Kate O'Donnell, John Peterson, and Bill Gillette, and of course the one and only Steve Singer. Let's give them a round of applause. And I also want to thank Jeff Danchalski from Danchalski Photographer for being here today to photograph. And if you're looking for a photographer, he's a great one to have. Now I'd like to introduce Jim Dunphy, who will introduce our Special Olympics messenger. Jim?
Jim Dunphy is the president of
Good
Hampshire
morning, and
First
thank
Bank.
you all for joining us at the 13th annual Bob Baines Blarney Breakfast. Special Olympics New Hampshire is honored to be part of St. Patrick's Day tradition in New Hampshire. I am Jim Dunphy, and I am on the board for Special Olympics New Hampshire. Our mission at Special Olympics New Hampshire is to provide year-round sports training and competition to children and adults with intellectual disabilities. We focus on building confidence and empowering our athletes through sporting events and athletic leadership programs, one of which is our Global Messenger program. Special Olympics New Hampshire provides public speaking training to our athletes so they can help spread the message of Special Olympics through their own triumphs and experiences. This morning, we have a Special Olympics New Hampshire athlete and global messenger, Michael Clayberg, with us to tell you about himself and what Special Olympics means to him. During Michael's speech, you will be able to follow along by using the same program Michael has used to read since middle school, Writing with Symbols. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce Michael Clayberg.
My name is Michael Clayberg. I like Special Olympics. Sometimes you can win it. Sometimes you don't, but you always have fun. I like Special Olympics. I do basketball, track, and track and field, ski, and bowling. I have been doing Special Olympics since I was 8. I live in Portsmouth. I am almost 24. My jobs are at Dunkin' Donuts. My boss, China, likes to goof around. My boss at McDonald's is driver. He says I am a sweet boy. I like the secret forgives. My jobs had talking. I prepare at the hospital police station and a shopping shelter. My mom, yes, my dad, very cool. It's cool. Thank you for being here for Special Olympics. Be safe and have fun.
Now you're getting a sense of why Steve and I, and this whole committee, keep doing this each and every year. And now to introduce our representative from the International Institute, I'm a good friend of the breakfast, a great community citizen. The president of Auto Fair, my son-in-law's boss, please welcome Andy Cruz. Good morning, everybody. It's a great honor for Auto Fair to turn around and be a part of this event. It means a lot when you look out and you see the community leaders and you see the individuals that continue to support this community. It's what makes this a special place. It's really what makes it a difference. So it really is a great way to start the day. We're truly honored to be able to introduce the next speaker. Everybody loves the story of hearing somebody that has basically come from nowhere and has worked hard and is self-made, brought himself up by the seafree.
Girard Large time is 8:22. We are live at the Blarney Breakfast, hosted by former Mayor Bob Baines, at the center of New Hampshire Radisson Hotel before a capacity crowd of 600 people who have come to help raise money for a variety of charities, the American Red Cross, the Shirley Brulette Fund to help refugees, and the Special Olympics. We were hearing from a Special Olympic athlete before we hit our break for traffic, weather, and sports. At the podium now is Auto Fair owner, Andy Cruz, there we go, who is introducing this morning's honored guest. So we're going to go right to the microphone and bring Andy Cruz on the radio.
Recently married, Judah is happy to put down his roots and truly begin his life in Manchester. Now, I found a lot of similarities going through this. I grew up in a small town in Georgia, or some people could call a village. When I first got here to Manchester, a lot of people said I needed to learn how to speak English. They couldn't understand me. I'd also tell you I was very proud to see Judah when he talked about celebrating success and really seeing that he was starting to get ahead, that he went out and bought a car. So I think that's a positive thing to go out and celebrate your success with. But please help me in welcoming our guest speaker, Judah.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. My name is Judah. I was born in Bhutan in 1986. I was exiled from the country when I was just 4 years old. There were two different groups living in Bhutan, Dzongkhai-speaking Bhutanese and Nepali-speaking Bhutanese like myself. The Nepali-speaking people were hardworking, sincere, dedicated, and active. We were doctors, lawyers, bankers, politicians, and teachers. The government of Bhutan, including our king, did not like this. They issued a census only to the Nepali-speaking people and divided them up. Fathers and mothers were called genuine Bhutanese, while their children were called illegal immigrants. In addition to this, they called 6-month-old babies and 90-year-old people as terrorists. With the power of army, they raped children, pregnant women, and even elderly grandmothers. Any men who opposed them were taken to jail. This is why I and many people were exiled. I spent 18 years of my life in the eastern part of Nepal living in hell. We lived in a hut of bamboo and plastic. There were no electricity, no running water, no proper bathroom, and we were only given 5 kilos, about 11 pounds of rice every 15 days. We were often hungry. Even with this problem, I studied hard at the school in the camp and went to university in Nepal. I didn't even see a computer until I went to university. The US, European, and other Western governments knew our people were peaceful and loving, as well as hardworking and active. So, in 2008, the United States started resettling us. On April 4, 2011, I moved to America. During my first month in Manchester, I faced many challenges. Even though I thought I understood English, but I still struggle with language, cultural difference, and total change of my life. But when I started going to International Institute of New Hampshire, I took English classes and learned about how to search for a job in United States. I started to volunteer there. The same year in October, I got a job. Since then, I have improved my English skill, worked at 2 jobs, bought a new car, and now support my entire family. Nowadays, I feel good about living and staying in Manchester. Here, I feel secure. All the people I have met are helpful and social. I am proud to be here with all of you. Let me tell you one thing. Some people have bad feeling towards immigrant. But look at me. An immigrant who had a job only a few months after moving here. If you give us a chance, we will be the best worker you have ever had. Thank you to the United States of America, its citizens, and this great land for welcoming us. I would like to thank the staff of International Institute for all the wonderful help they provide to refugees. I would like to thank my managers at Target and ABM and Hesser College for giving me the opportunity to prove how dedicated of a worker I truly am. And great thanks to all of you for listening to my story. Thank you everyone and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Girard, our time is 8:29. Not even going to try to pronounce that gentleman's name, but certainly.
Okay, we're now going to turn this
speech.
over to John Clayton and Steve Singer for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then Anthony Kearns will be on the last 10 minutes of the show. Please stay. You are in for a big treat. Stephen. By the way, everybody has an envelope. If you can't participate in the auctions, there's an envelope here provided by Members First. If you could put any kind of donation in to help our charities, we would appreciate it.
I shouldn't say allow, we'll enable our listeners to participate in the auction. If you hear of an item that you would like to cast a bid on, call us at 672-0573. That's 672-0573. We will put your bid in on your behalf. If there's anything here that floats your boat. Girard at Large time is 8:30. We are broadcasting live from the Bob Baines Blarney Breakfast, downtown Manchester at the center of New Hampshire, Radisson Hotel. We have brought the event to you from beginning to end. It
Happy
will
Wednesday
wrap up
morning,
at 9 o'clock.
everyone.
We're going to let Mr. Singer explain
On behalf of
what
the
we're up to
Bob
at the
Baines
moment.
Blarney Breakfast Committee, I'd like to thank everyone for their support and their partnership and for their generosity. This year's event will be our most successful event ever, not only in terms of attendance, but also in terms of our net bottom line for the 3 charities that are involved. The American Red Cross, which everyone knows is very dear and near to the Singer family. We are proud to have the Gail Singer Memorial Blood Drive, which Bob mentioned earlier, is still the largest blood drive in America. We're also involved this morning with the Special Olympics of New Hampshire and the International Institute. In order to help these 3 charities, in addition to the sponsorships that we've received so far, we have now a live auction with 4 very neat, high-profile items. I hope that everyone will open up their hearts and their pocketbooks, bid often and bid high. This morning, for every item that we sell, the McLean Law Firm will match your high bid dollar for dollar. If we sell a guitar or an athletic experience for $2,500, that $2,500 becomes $5,000. So please, when we auction the items off, dig deep. Not only will you get a neat item, more importantly, you'll help make a significant difference in our community. Our first item this morning is an opportunity to have dinner at the Copper Door. It's dinner for 10, the new restaurant in town,
And just
the
a reminder
Copper
to
Door.
our audience, if there's
And
anything
in
here
addition,
that
after dinner,
floats your boat,
you'll be
we will
able
take
to
your calls at
enjoy a
672-0573 and be glad to enter a bid on your behalf.
at the Fisher Cats at the stadium formerly known as merchantsauto.com Stadium. And as part of the experience, the high bidder will have an opportunity to throw out the first pitch at a Fisher Cat game. Again, it's dinner for 10 at the Copper Door, a sweet night with the Fisher Cats, and throw out the first pitch of the game. Can somebody open the bidding at $1,000? $1,000, dinner for 10, Fisher Cat suite for 10, throw out the first pitch. Somebody open the bidding at $1,000. Do we have $1,000 from anyone to open up the bidding? Thank you very much, Gary. $1,000 from Gary.
This is when all those evil
Can we
rich
get everybody
capitalists
for
who've done well
$12.50
in
as a
life
point of
part with their
information?
cash to help the less fortunate.
We had a live radio auction prior to the event this morning. We auctioned off 4 monster seats that were donated by Cross Insurance, a limo, and dinner for 4 at the Common Man. That went for $2,200. And the high bidder is here this morning, Mr. Longren. We appreciate your generosity. We also had an item that included dinner for 10 at the Common Man and also a Fisher Cat experience. That was sold for $2,000, and the high bidder donated it back so that 10 athletes from the Special Olympics could attend a Fisher Cat game and have dinner. So we're at $1,000 for this item. Anybody for $1,100? Dinner for 10, Fisher Cat experience throughout the first pitch, and enjoy the game from a suite. Anybody at $1,100? Donate it back. Anybody for $1,100? Ladies and gentlemen, I knew we should have had alcohol before we started this event. Anybody for $1,100? $1,000 going once. $1,000 going twice. Anybody for $1,100? How about $1,050? Anybody donated back to the Special Olympics? Last time? Sold. Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to take your calls, 672-0573. Open it up a bit. We'll continue to keep you up to date as the auction progresses. I wanted to get back to
our second item is a very, very cool item.
second item.
It's an acoustic guitar.
By the way, hey Dave, guess who the new school board member in Hooksett is?
All 5 members.
Break out your antlers. The Angry
No way.
Elf won.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, I just got word of that this morning.
So does that mean it's required to dress like an elf at the meetings now?
Yes, it was a relatively close race. John Liscar's getting 274 votes to 224 for Jen Legere, and the fellow who withdrew got 94 votes.
He's an angry elf.
Looks like the teacher contract in Hooksett. This is coming to us from our listener Christine in Hooksett. We thank you very much for sending it to us. Looks like the town of Hooksett also approved the collective bargaining agreement with the Hooksett School Board and the Hooksett Education Association. Shall the district vote to approve the cost items included in the collective bargaining agreement reached between the Hooksett School Board and the paraprofessionals? That passed. Operating budget, $27 million for the school district. Actually, I'm not sure if that's the school district. Yes, it is.
$27,514,673 budget. That passed Hooksett. Closer vote, 346 to 238. Shall the district raise and appropriate the sum of $316,000 to be placed in the school building construction reconstruction capital reserve fund? Voters in Hooksett said no. We're not going to put money in the capital reserve fund. And shall the district vote to increase the school board membership from 5 to 7 members? They voted yes. So we have 2 more school board seats that will be coming available in the town of Hooksett to increase their membership. Benny Hill music, please. Oh, my God. Our thanks to our listener, Christine in Hooksett, who sent that information our way.
So apparently the folks in Hooksett want their taxes to go up, right?
You know, I don't know what the tax
impact... Because we know where Mr. Liskar stands on that.
Well, Mr. Liskars will have to have, now that he's an official in Hooksett, we'll re-extend the invitation for him to come.
Aerosmith guitar signed by Steve Tyler.
Well, let's go back to this. We have an Aerosmith guitar signed by Steve Tyler on the auction block.
Anybody for $2,000? Again, the money goes to charity, ladies and gentlemen.
And an Aerosmith guitar signed by Steve Tyler.
Anybody for $2,000? $1,750 going twice. Last time around, anybody for $2,000? Aerosmith guitar. Jen will deliver the guitar to your house. Anybody for $2,000? Whatever it takes, Jen, right? Sold $1,750. Thank you very much.
$1,750 for a guitar from Aerosmith signed.
By the way, we have several other items that are not part of the live auction this morning. Spectacular items. We have a guitar signed by the Eagles. We have 2 tickets for the Kentucky Derby donated by Sally Zeiler at the finish line. We have some helmets signed by Rob Grankowski and Aaron Hernandez. If you'd like to take a look, they're available right as you walk out. See me, we'll negotiate a deal. I'll throw in a car if necessary. The third item is very, very neat, very unusual. It's a game day experience with the Indianapolis Colts. You get 2 premium lower load seats.
Gerald, our time is 8:39. We're coming at you from the Radisson Hotel in downtown Manchester, covering the Baines Blarney Breakfast.
With the
a special
VIPs
occasion, to be sure. If you have a special occasion or one you'd like to be special, visit our friends at John'sFlowerShop.com at 712 Mass Road.
In Indianapolis.
At 712 Mass Road. Dave, can you take them?
Round-trip tickets that were donated by Southwest Airlines. You can choose the game that you'd like to attend. Perhaps the highlight this year would be when Peyton Manning returns to Indianapolis to go against Andrew Luck. And oh, by the way, the package also includes some signed memorabilia by Andrew Luck. A very unique, one-of-a-kind opportunity. This package, when sold in the Indianapolis area, sells for in excess of $5,000. I don't think the Patriots are playing this year in Indianapolis, but if you want to hold off, you can wait till next year and utilize the package then. I'd like to open up the bidding at $1,000. Any football fans here to go to Indianapolis? Anybody want to bid $1,000? Anybody open at $1,000? David Bellman, thank you very much. $1,000. Anybody for $1,250? $1,250 to go to Indianapolis. See the Colts play perhaps the Denver Broncos or the Houston Texans or even the Patriots. Anybody at $1,250? $1,250? Anybody at $1,250? Michael, thank you very much. $1,250. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this will be matched by our friends over at the McLean Law Firm with $1,250. Going once. Anybody for $1,500? $1,500. By the way, this item is sponsored by our friends at Members First, Brady McLaughlin, and the rest of the team here. Thank you very much. $1,250 going twice.
Anybody for 15? See the Patriots play the Indianapolis Colts. Tom Brady against Andrew Luck, 1250 going twice. It's a steal. Anybody for 15? Last time around. Anybody for 15? Sold to my brother-in-law Michael. Thank you very much. Our last item, have an opportunity to steal something here this morning. It's dinner for 8. We call it a hot night on the town. A dinner for 8. And then a Palace Theater VIP experience. Tickets for 8. VIP tickets to any show you'd like to see. They've got some great shows this year. You pick the show. Let's open up the bidding at $500. Anybody $500? Dinner for 8 and night. And 8 tickets after the dinner to a show at the Palace. $500, thank you very much. Anybody for $750? $750? Anybody for $750? Thank you very much. $750, we're now at $750. Anybody $1,000? Dinner for 8 plus the Palace experience. You get $1,000. We'll close the bidding and throw in a case of wine donated by Martinetti. Anybody for $1,000? Anybody for $1,000? Dinner for 8, VIP at the Palace, and a case of wine. $1,000 sold to this gentleman right over here. Thank you very much. Our sponsor for that was Riverstone. I want to thank you very much for your generosity this morning. I now have the pleasure of introducing a very old friend of ours, a very well-respected columnist for the Union Leader, local historian, author, man about town, and all-around good guy, my good friend John Clayton.
Thank you. Here I'm engaged in what we're calling the lightning round, and it's a little bit high concept, so bear with me. Rather than bidding on items that you will take home with you, you're bidding on services that will be provided to the institutions that we're honoring here today. The International Institute, Special Olympics, and the American Red Cross. But while I have you here, just as a point of curiosity, I know you're not all from Manchester, but those of you who are, how many of you voted for me for Charter Commission? Hands. I want to know because I'm going to get even with you at some point. If you don't know what I mean, turn on your television at 6 p.m. tonight for the Charter Commission meeting. I like that hands in the air. How many voted for Governor Hassan? How about Mayor Gatzis? Right here. Twice. How about Bob Baines and Tagan? How many people voted for Bob Baines? Okay, this is important.
So we're going to hit the podium now. John Clayton.
You're going to pledge money. The first item is going to be a bid for $500.
John Clayton taking over the auction.
Essentially, $500 would take care of a family of 4 through the International Institute for a month. Food, shelter, and clothing. Think about the concept of $500 a month taking care of a family of 4. Think about us as a city of immigrants. Even if you came on the Mayflower, you're an immigrant coming to America. First in Manchester was the Scots-Irish, and then the French-Canadians, and then the Poles and the Greeks and the Irish and the Belgians and the Germans and the Swedish. Today, it's Rwanda and Bhutan, it's Serbia, it's Mexico, it's Guatemala. People come to Manchester to fulfill a dream that our parents and grandparents were able to enjoy, and it is now incumbent upon us to honor their legacy by supporting these newcomers to our community. So who will pledge $500 to help the International Institute support a family of 4? My spotters help me out.
David, why don't you take us down from this?
Incidentally, our good friends at the Elliott Hospital have pledged a challenge grant to match any donation you make. So those 2 $500 pledges are now worth $1,000. So who else will dedicate $500 to help the International Institute make a family of 4 feel at home here in our community? Again, think about how your parents and grandparents came here and were welcome. The lady in green, thank you very much. We have 3. Who else? Come on, I don't want to let you off the hook. You been up River's Edge? I was born at the Elliott Hospital, which is another reason you should bid, because you can take it out on it by taking $500 from it. Anyone else? We have another one, number 142, thank you.
That's 4. Thanks, Dick. Come on. If you've been enough yelling, we'll have to go back into business with Dick and Rusty to put that liquor store on the campus. That's my kind of hospital care. And I know a little bit about that now. So we have 4. Anyone else? For the International Institute. Okay, we have 4. Thank you very much. We want to move on with respect to your time, and we want to acknowledge the other charities. That's for the International Institute. Thank you, bidders. We're going to ratchet it down a little bit to $250. In this case, the charity of interest is Special Olympics, and it will be hard for me to top Michael Clayburgh when I make a pitch for Special Olympics. Some of you may realize that I won the Tom King Award last year at the St. Patrick's Parade to honor the late Manchester Police Chief. Tom King was famous for 2 things. Every cop who ever worked in Manchester could do an impression of Tom King. He had a very distinctive speaking style. The other was Judge Armin Capistran. So Tom King was famous for his Irish speech pattern. He was also famous for being frugal. That's a polite word for Chief King. Frugal, parsimonious, cheap. I do not want you to emulate him in that way today. I want you to get your hands in the air. A $250 pledge for the Special Olympics will take care of individual athletes' needs for an entire week. Transportation, housing, food, and the opportunity to compete at the University of New Hampshire in the Special Olympics. We have an incredible athletic tradition here in Manchester. Think about the athletes that the city has produced, whether it be Mike Flanagan, Chris Carpenter, Billy Pappas, Tina Toombs, Louise Billy. Mayor Ted Gansas is actually in one of my books in his Central High School football uniform, hiding behind a gentleman named Dick Fuller, who, if you know Manchester sports, was one of the great football players ever to come out of here. What an opportunity for us to support Special Olympic athletes to enjoy that same pleasure of competition. Think about those of you of my age, that trotting onto the field at Hill Stadium under the lights was one of the great experiences of our lives. Let these athletes enjoy that same pleasure at your age. $250, which again will be matched by the LA Hospital. Who will start bidding? You know what? I will. $250. Who else? Lionel in the back. Thank you, sir. Over here, yes, we have 3. $250. 4. Elliot will match whatever you spend. 5. 6. 7. Where are my spotters? Help me out. Don't want to let this go. 8 in the back. Thank you, sir. All for Special Olympics. 9. 10 in the corner. Thank you for number 41.
Auction here continues. Girard at large time is 8:49. We're expecting a musical performance very shortly. So what we'll do is we'll take our check for the top of the hour. We'll take our check for the top of the hour traffic.
Lastly, the American Red Cross. We're going to establish this at $100. A $100 bid will finance the donation of a dozen units of blood. And if you think about the Gail Singer Memorial Blood Drive, which collected at 1,954 volunteers show up to donate blood. A pledge of $100 will be matched by the LA Hospital. So who will pledge to help support the American Red Cross? $100. In the back, 1, 2, right away. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, thank you, number 43, 10, Patrick. 11. And my spotters are keeping an eye on you. We'll meet you afterward. Okay, we have 11. Again, the yellow will match that. We want to thank you for your generosity today in supporting these charities, and thank you for taking part in the Bob Baines Blarney Breakfast. Thank you so much.
Hey, let's thank John Clayton. Good job, John. I think you at least matched what Charlie did last year. So Charlie's
yeah, Charlie was going to do it, but they thought maybe somebody younger and better looking could get more money out of it. But they asked me anyway, so here we are.
Dick Andingos, all right. Dick, stand up for a minute. Dick, in honor of his late brother Dino, is a great musician. Dick has generously supported our next performer. A wonderful, well, thank Dick first of all on behalf of this brother. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you are playing for a really big treat. We had Ronan Tynan here last couple of years. Now we have his partner in crime, of course, Ronan. Please welcome international performer, recording artist, Irish tenor, Anthony Kearns. Anthony. Is he better looking than Ronan? Thanks, Anthony.
There was a very push after that question. I'm delighted to be here. I don't know where to look, forward or back. I'm in the round here. But I can see that there's a lot of big little sausage being devoured here this morning, so I'm delighted to be part of the B. That's the only way I can remember this hour morning. Anyway, I want to start with a song that the older generation might have heard from grandparents. It's a song called The Old House, and it's a man looking back.
All right, we're back with Anthony Kearns, Ronan Tyner's singing partner. We're going to go right to him.
It makes him quite sad. You have to imagine an orchestra behind me here as well.
Famed Irish tenor.
Lonely I wander through scenes of my childhood. They call back to memory those happy days of yore. Gone are the old folk, the house stands deserted. No light in the window, no welcome at the door. Here's where the children played games on the heather. Here's where they sailed their wee boats on the burn. Where are they now? Some are dead, some have wandered. No more to their homes shall those children return. Lone is the house now, and lonely the moorland. The children are scattered, the old folk are gone. Why stand I here like a ghost and a shadow? 'Tis time I were moving. 'Tis time I passed on. You've heard of Columbus a-sailing across the Atlantical Sea. Well, he never tried to go railing from Ennis as far as Kilkee. You run for the train in the morning, the excursion train starting at 8. You're there when the guard gives the warning, and there for an hour you'll wait. And while you're waiting on the train, you hear the guard sing this refrain. Are you right there, Michael, are you right? Do you think that we'll be home before it's light? Well, it all depends on whether the old engine howls together, and she might now, Michael, so she might. They find out where the engine's been hiding, and it drags them to sweet Corofin. Says the guard, whack her down on the siding. There's a goods from Kilrush coming in. Perhaps it comes in 2 hours. Perhaps it breaks down on the way. If it does, says the guard, be the powers, we're here for the rest of the day. And while you sit and curse your luck, the train backs down into a truck. Are you right there, Michael, are you right? Do you think that we'll be home before it's light? Well, it all depends on whether the old engine howls together, and she might now, Michael, so she might. Or she might now, Michael, so she might. Well, she might now, Michael, so she might. Over in Killarney, many years ago, my mother sang a song to me in tones so sweet and low. Just a simple little ditty in her good old Irish way, and I'd give the world if she could sing that song to me this day. If you know what singing. Tooralooraloora, tooralooralai, tooralooraloora. Hush, now don't you cry. Tooralooraloora, tooralooralai, tooralooraloora. That's an Irish lullaby. Oft in dreams I've wandered to that cot again. I feel her arms a-hugging me as when she held me then. And I hear her voice a-humming to me as in days of yore, when she used to rock me fast asleep outside the cabin door. Everybody. Tooralooraloora, tooralooralai, tooralooraloora. Don't wake the child. Hush, now don't you cry. Tooralooraloora, tooralooralai, tooralooraloora. That's an Irish lullaby.
Our large time is 8:59, and we are out of time. We want to thank our entire production team here for making this live broadcast from the center of New Hampshire, Radisson, of the Bob Baines Blarney Breakfast possible. And we want to thank you for tuning in with us. Tomorrow we are returned to our busy schedule. Our Web Savvy segment with John DePietro will take place at 6:40. Dr. Jeffrey Zarnick will be in at 7:23 for our public safety segment. Dining Adventures, George Lawrence will be in, telling us all about how Obamacare will affect the restaurant business. And then, of course, Dr. Julianne Cooper is our children learning for the entire team here. Be good, be well. Don't do anything we wouldn't do. Proud to have you in the audience. Thanks for being there.
WLMW 90.7 FM.
It's uplifting and powerful, and it's a good message all around.
New Hampshire Family Radio.
It's just a good station to listen to.